Ladies and gentlemen, what's on my mind? So today I wanted to touch on the broken games of 2014, and you guys can obviously expect that this is all my personal opinion, and I'm not sure whether everything I say is correct or whether you. And if you guys don't believe it, that's absolutely fine. But this is all my perspective. I just wanted to talk about like the issue because I was a gamer back when games came out in PC shops instead of an internet third party like Steam. And you bought the games in the store, and you always expected them to be complete full games, regardless of whether they were good or bad. And you played them. Like, what? You just played them, they were good, like, there were like a few bugs, but obviously nothing too game breaking. They were shipped out. They seemed very much complete. Now, nowadays, let me just touch briefly on the broken games issue of 2014. I think the main issue, first of all, just a summary. So, a lot of games were broken in 2014. One example, the most famous, infamous example is Assassin's Creed Unity by Ubisoft. And that game had a lot of game breaking issues, a lot of frames per second drops, and didn't run well on anything, and there was a lot of graphical performance issues and a lot and lots of bugs. And that was the most infamous example of a broken game in 2014, although there was also Ubisoft's Watch Dogs, which didn't live up to people's hype. What's another one? I think there were a lot of early access games. I can't think of like too many specific examples because I'm not like a huge gamer and into like AAA games, which people are extremely hyped about. Oh, DayZ, I think DayZ didn't really release in 2014, but yeah, it's still broken. DayZ. There must be other games, but I can't remember any of them. No, I can't think of any of them. Maybe the Alien game? No, that was early. Anyway, I think that an issue which, like, all of these games, a lot of these games, these AAA games are quite broken when people first get them. Obviously, I think is that because of the internet. Okay, so I'll just try. So, previously, when you bought a game, you went to the shop and the complete game was right there and then and there, right? And the game company had a deadline to reach, and once they reached that deadline, if they didn't reach that deadline, they sent out their game a little bit later because they had to make sure the game was complete in order to shop it out to stores. And if it wasn't complete, then obviously their reputation would be extremely tarnished because people would be buying a full complete game in which they couldn't receive any updates via the internet to fix their issues. And if the game was broken during that PC, in that CD, then that company basically stole their money for a broken game, not what they promised. Nowadays with the internet, what a lot of companies are using as an excuse for their broken games are a day one patch. And the day one patch is basically a massive update to fix all the bugs which have broken, not all the bugs, but fix the game breaking bugs which people find in their online game. And I really, really disagree with a day one patch. You shouldn't need a day one patch if you've tested your game and you've made sure that your game was playable. Oh my gosh, if you need a day one patch, basically you're saying that you know that your game is broken and you're already working on the bugs, but you released them out. Okay, so that's a little bit of an over-exaggeration. So some games with like the internet updates are using the day one patches like really, really good. Like, so the game is playable, but some users find some very rare bugs which could break the game, and the developers send out a day one patch to fix them because they are an easy fix. But big game companies like Ubisoft in particular send out these day one patches to fix the game, and it shouldn't need fixing. Why would it need a patch? Maybe just like bug fixing patch, but more and more these game companies are hiding behind these internet updates to say that their game is complete. When you sell a game, it should be the full promised thing. It shouldn't be a broken thing. Game companies should not be allowed to do that. And then of course I'm just thinking back in the day, like back in the day when Ubisoft first released their first ever Assassin's Creed game. I still got it. I've got it here in the other room, sorry, in my bedroom. And it's a complete game, and it hasn't had any updates, but it is a complete game, and I would expect there to be maybe like a few bugs or so, but nothing game breaking. It's a complete game. Whereas with Assassin's Creed Unity, it was released and it wasn't by any means like fully optimized, and Ubisoft still made a killing from it because of all the hype. When did it come to a day and age where we can hide behind the internet? The internet is good for like searching stuff up and making information relevant and downloading things and sharing content, and but in this, like, game companies should not be allowed to hide behind the excuse of, oh, we know the game is, the game is broken, yes, but we're gonna fix it right now. So no, it should be fixed when you release it, because that's what you promised. The whole idea of a promise. The pre-order of a purchase, well, selling something, you're basically trying to sell something complete, right? I guess it's technically not illegal because you didn't technically promise like all of the features which people would have expected, but at the same time it'd be nice to think that game companies, these companies which make games, were competent enough to create complete games. These game companies are all about the money. Release this game on like this deadline every single year. Oh, we know that Assassin's Creed Unity is broken, but don't worry, we'll have it all fixed for next year's Assassin's Creed. I sigh too much. I mean, how did they even get to this stage? I mean, I get it with like some early access, like, to some extent early access games are kind of the same in some sort of issue, like Minecraft, for example, Kerbal Space Program, Prison Architect, those sort of games, they were all early access, and they kept having updates and updates and updates, and they kept rolling out new and new content with every single update. And those are how early access games are supposed to work. You watch like the game unfold before your eyes. But these early access games, which they are broken and they're trying to sell it to people, or like their early access game doesn't have enough content for it to be playable. When have we got into a day and age where you can sell people that for money? Like, a lot of these early access games are pulling out as well and taking these people's money. It's like, what? The idea of a promise. You're a game company. You're promising to make this game. Oh dear. I'm frustrated. I don't buy too many games because of this. I don't buy too many AAA games because of this. I don't really want to support companies like Ubisoft. EA has actually gotten better over time. It's Ubisoft which is the worst company of today's day and age. And the sad thing is, people continually go to Ubisoft and pre-order, and they keep supporting a goddamn company who keeps making all of these mistakes. It's like, I don't buy any Ubisoft games because of this. I bought like Sims 3 from EA. I don't think I'll ever buy another Ubisoft game. I mean, I've got Assassin's Creed, and that's a complete game. But I'm not going to go purchase a new Ubisoft game because they've got a track record of broken or underwhelming games. They just don't live up to the hype. It's Ubisoft. God damn it. Thank you guys for listening. That was just a little rant. I think I went a little bit off topic, and I keep repeating a few things, but it's how I see it. Games should be delivered incomplete with beta testing and most of the bugs sorted. I don't mind if there are a few bugs, because as long as like they are few and far between, and it seems like the developers couldn't get to all of them, and they are minor bugs, that's alright. But even like one major bug or two, that seems fine, because maybe the developers were a little rushed for time to get to the deadline. But something like Assassin's Creed Unity, where it's like completely broken, like Watch Dogs, where it's boring, the main character's boring. God damn it, Ubisoft, step up your game. This is basically just a Ubisoft run, but it happens to like a lot of companies. Oh god, whenever I say a lot of companies, I can't think of any. God damn it. What's an underwhelming game this year? I'd say, well, DayZ is an example, but it's not 2014. I might talk about this in the future when I'm better prepared, but these sort of what's on my mind episodes, they're not supposed to be like well prepared. Oh, I've got this, I've got this, I've got this as sources, and you should believe me because I'm putting forth a reasonable statement. It's more like I'm sharing my opinion, and you are entitled to agree or disagree, or just listen if you want to. It's just showing the side of different people, and for me, I'm just tired of these game companies which tend to have no ethics when it comes to releasing games which they've promised and which people take in full. Alright, in conclusion, if you know that your game isn't going to be good, at the very least offer like a discounted price. God dang it. Don't try selling like a broken ass Assassin's Creed Unity for like $70. You could stop the development of it, and you'd basically have screwed people out of their hard earned money. Anyway, that's been me. Thank you very much, guys, for listening. This is basically just a rant on, well, let's call this video Broken Games, and then I might do one in the future. I've never said that I can't return to a subject if I want to. Alright, thank you for listening, guys. My question to you guys is, what is your most remembered game? Well, no. What is the game you most remember which has been a broken release? Oh, that's what I'll call this video. Broken releases. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. This has been another What's on My Mind. Torbray, of course. See you guys next time.